everybody, and welcome to another episode of Junk Food and You. This is the podcast where I sort of talk about random things, snack-related things. Today we're going to talk about social media accounts, in particular social media accounts for snacking companies. I have sort of mixed feelings about this. As you would imagine, I follow a few social media accounts for various snacking companies. The main reason I do that is because I want to hear about new stuff that's come out and everything like that. But one of the things I find about social media accounts for snacking companies is they kind of tend to get off the topic of snacking a lot. Like, I'll be honest, I probably follow far fewer snacking companies than you would imagine, because I find that a lot of them, they don't actually talk about the snacks at all. They'll occasionally post when something new comes out, but there seems to be this sort of need to fill space. And so they tend to sort of like create an attitude about their snacking company. So you sort of sit there, and every once in a while I'll get a message or something from one of the snacking companies, and it'll be like, you know, I'm feeling rude today. And it's like, I don't need to know that from a chocolate bar company. Like, what's that about? Or, you know, so they sort of create these characters, and often it's like sassy kind of troublemaker tends to be the thing. I know that there's been a few food companies and snacking companies that sort of started this trend. The thing about a lot of them, and to be honest, I don't totally hate the sassy sort of food company thing. But the problem is a lot of them do it badly. A lot of them are just sort of like sassy for the sake of being sassy and trying hard and trying to create a confrontation, as opposed to like, there's some candy companies that are sassy to people who leave negative comments and things like that. Like, that's fine, but there's some that sort of like almost want you to leave negative comments so they can be sassy to you. And to be honest, I don't think that's really cool. Some of my favorite social media accounts for candy companies, a lot of them are smaller candy companies. They do a really good job, and they often talk about like what it's like making their treat, what it's like, you know, maybe some history about their treats, and that sort of thing. That's kind of a cool way to fill up space if you're not releasing something new. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the big candy companies, I'm going to safely say all of the big candy companies have history. You know, a lot of the candy bars and treats you've been eating, some of them hundreds of years, like over 100 years they've had of making a treat. And they have this huge library of history that they don't tap into. Instead, they're giving me, look at me, I'm a sassy chocolate bar, and oh, I'm gonna tell you off, and oh, I'm gonna go talk to this other candy company and tell them how much better I am than them, and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm kind of bored of that. I mean, it was kind of a neat little trend for a little while. It was kind of funny and interesting when done well. But there's a lot of now it's like whenever I join these snacking and fast food candy social media things, it's like all I get. Like, I would say most of the time I get these like sort of sassy things, and maybe they'll leave a sassy comment here and I'll be a part of that. But to be honest, it's like, it's kind of boring. I'm kind of getting bored of it. And I mean, obviously I have a bias. I've been reviewing treats and looking at fast food for more than 20 years. So to me, it's sort of like I've seen it all. But to me, I really do enjoy, like, there's so much rich content that a lot of these companies have, like history. How did this candy bar get made? And how is it made now? How has it changed? Behind the scenes pictures are always neat. That's one thing, again, small candy companies really want to show how they're doing it. And I think that's kind of cool. They also want to talk about sort of the family story behind their treats. And that's kind of cool. And even the big companies, you have history. You've got these amazing manufacturings. And I know a lot of candy companies are sort of leery about showing the behind the scenes of how things are made, because they're worried that they're going to get either negative publicity about it, or there's guarded secrets. But to some degree, it's like, you know, there are parts of it you can show. I've been on factory tours of many candy companies, and there's some really interesting stuff to show there. There's also the employees that make it, and they've got some, you know, interesting history. I'm sure many of you have employees who have been working at your factories for forever. And, you know, how have things changed since they started doing it? why did they come to do this? Why like, you get a 30 or 40 year employee. Why have they been there for that long? Like, I would be really interested in that. It's more interesting stories than just being sassy and sort of creating this fictional character of your snack or food who's going to, like, tell other fast foods off and the haters and everything like that. It's just, again, I don't disagree with it. I just find it's done poorly most of the time, and everybody's doing it at this point. So it's sort of like, even, like I said, there are a few good ones that I still follow, but there's a lot that I don't bother anymore, because it's like, I can find out when new treats are coming out online other ways, and the social media accounts are like, it's like 90, it just fills my various social media with just these, random sassy, hey, look at this troublemaker, sort of elf on a shelf type thing for your candy. And if you can do it, great, but do it well and try something creative. And there's other things you can do, trust me. Candy companies have got a lot. There are candy companies that are less than a year old that have some really interesting stories to tell. So I imagine that these candy companies that are over 100 years old have got some amazing stories to tell too. So tell those stories, tell these bigger stories. Don't just be sassy. It's kind of boring. So if you don't see me following your social media account, let me know what it is. Maybe I haven't followed it yet, and I will. I'm happy to. But if you're just going to do like sassy retorts to people's comments and stuff like that, I'm probably going to unfollow you at some point soon. I got other stories to hear that can fill my brain that are a lot more interesting. So thanks for watching this latest episode of Junk Food and You, where today I talked about social media accounts of snacking and food companies that are just kind of boring me. So as always, you can follow me on my various social medias. And if you've got social media, let me know what it is. If you're a candy company, I will follow you. I don't know how long I'll follow you, but I will follow you at first, and I'll give you a chance. So thanks for watching. Bye. Thanks for watching. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can go to candycritic.org to find links to everything from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. You can also read well over 1,000 candy reviews, with new ones coming all the time. Candycritic.org also has links to pick up my latest books, as well as some cool candy-themed merchandise.